All right, we're back. We're back. And that's the chimes of the lovely Dolphina who's coming in to scream. You. There she is. Can't see much, but here she comes. Nice. Hello, Dolphina. Welcome to the Connection Webathon. Thanks for being a part of it.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. It's our pleasure. Just here to talk about what you do and what you're about, and you have a whole thing going on. You have
I have a whole thing going on.
The Goddess Life.
But I must adjust, first of all,
okay,
to everyone out there, that everyone that's met Jacques knows he is amazing. He's something special.
Oh.
And everyone knows it. You feel blessed to be part of your life.
Well, thank you. That's very nice of you to say.
I've known him since I was 15, and so I feel especially blessed.
We've known each other a while, not a long time.
Like 5 years.
But yeah, that was fun. That was back in the day, back in San Francisco area. You were living in the family in Millbrae or something like that, or no, some suburb.
I am a California girl through and through.
Okay,
even though
you don't want you don't want me to bring up all the.
What's happening?
The past. Nothing. I'm just so we can see ourselves. There we go.
Are you in the shadow?
No, I was for a second. So yeah, I can talk to your back. So so anyway, I'm curious.
Hello.
I want to share with the world what the Goddess Life is about and how you came to it, actually.
Well, first of all, I have other things. Like, you're not totally in charge.
Yeah, go ahead. Your other things.
Okay, so when we met on a film shoot, and I was young, and you were young too, and
Younger.
and I took a journey, and you took a journey. I went to New York, and I traveled lots of places, and when I returned to California, which I feel like a California girl, even though I've traveled the world, and I was teaching what is now the Goddess Workout, which is a belly dance workout that makes you feel feminine and sassy and confident. There was some people from the original Filmmakers Alliance.
Mm-hmm. Old school Filmmakers Alliance.
Called RAPA at the time. Not to give any secrets away, but and they said, why don't we film this? And it was totally revolutionary. It's, I think, really the kind of the quintessential story of Filmmakers Alliance, because it was people coming together to make something that was beautiful and artistic, and everybody gave what their talents were. And at the time, some people did sound that had never done sound before, and it was...
This is not recommended, by the way.
But it was, let's just come together and make this. And at the time, a lot of people out there right now are filmmakers, but we eventually marketed it as a workout video, but at the time, there was no such thing as an independent workout video. It was all very famous personalities that did workout videos, such as Denise Austin, that are still doing it, and Kathy Smith, and they worked for big studios, Sony and Warner Brothers, and they did the fitness du jour, like kickboxing, yoga, whatever it was. And what we did was we filmed my class, which is a belly dancing workout, but lots of layers to it class that was empowering, and made it beautiful. Their workout videos, not to judge, but They're,
Oh yeah, I remember. They were.
the music isn't beautiful. We used dollies and crayons and all the artistic elements of filmmaking to make a beautiful production. And so it's lovely to look at. And even though, I would do some things differently, it's still everyone's favorite. The what we now call the intro to belly dance. There's been several different
Sure, yeah.
variations and covers, but it was the real very first independent workout video. First on Amazon, first in Target, first in all the stores. And it led way to other people to teach belly dance, yoga, hula hoop, whatever, and create their own empire out of being independent and realizing that they can do that themselves. They don't have to wait for a studio to give the green light, which is really, I think, is the independent spirit. It's not waiting for someone else to say it's okay, I approve. I'm doing this, and I'm going to be in charge of the whole creative production. And then, when you're interested, you can help distribute it, and we can make some money.
There you go. There's the business side. So
it is show business.
So, how many of these did you end up doing? Like, there was the intro, and then
there was the intro. It was originally not called the intro because it was the only one of the time. So it was just called the Goddess Workout, which I believe every woman is a goddess. And it's not to say that I don't believe in men and empowering men, because I do. It's really about women embodying the feminine energy, and they get lots of levels at the same time. They get their workout, they get to feel more confident, they feel connected. And it's embodying this whole goddess life philosophy, which developed over time. And men receive the benefits of it.
I'm sure they do. But then you've expanded it though. Like, it's not just working out. There's, like, if you go to your site, there's concepts and philosophies. How did that all evolve?
Well, originally it was I was dancing in New York and sitting dance, and then I was also belly dancing at a nightclub, Moroccan nightclub at night, and I put the two of them together, and that created the Goddess Workout. But after the DVD was filmed, it just took off, and it was very blessed, I feel. Sex and the City wrote about it, and it just took off as a business. And then it became a entire philosophy, really, of women not only feeling confident in their bodies, accepting them for where they are right now, like wherever you are, as far as whatever, it's low impact, so you can just do the workout right now and just start the moves and feel connected to something very ancient, very feminine, very powerful. And so, we filmed more and more. I made music, and right now I've evolved, as I'm sure you've evolved as well with your business. And you kind of, sometimes have an idea of where it's going to go, and then sometimes it directs you, it pushes you. But right now I'm really about empowering other women to empower other women. So I'm doing an online certification program for women to teach other women to teach the Goddess Workout. So I have certified instructors in Taiwan and Vietnam and Australia and Europe. And
who certifies them? How they pass muster?
That's a great question. Well, first of all, my real requirement is they want to empower other women, because that is really the most important thing. And I feel like that is part of where women are at in the feminist movement is at. I know that feminism kind of sometimes has a bad connotation at the moment, as being anti-men because of the second wave feminist women's movement. The first wave was about getting the right to vote in the 20s, and it was global. And then, I feel like the, pendulum swings between all civil rights and all movements. It swings back and forth between generations. So the 50s came after the women's right to vote, and the 50s were, women were very oppressed and not feeling fulfilled. And then out of, those women, they had their children became the women of the 70s, which originally was about women's, and this relates definitely to your project, is it was all about sexual liberation. So it was Roe v. Wade, it was the pill, it was burning the bra, and it was feeling like women could enjoy sex for themselves, not to is a duty or something that was, as commerce as it. I feel like it is now. I feel like the pendulum has swung, so a lot of women feel like they use it as commerce, but I feel like the current empowerment of women is about women really not only owning their own bodies and feeling in control of that, but also to not compete with other women and to feel that not women are not their competition in the workplace, and or at romantically, that other women is where we are empowering each other.
Yeah, I mean, I still feel like, that's a great concept overall, and like allowing women to be full and complete and sexual and all the different things that a woman is, people are. But because I make a lot of films that are from the female perspective, just because I feel like the way women have had to supplement their complete humanity is created a lot of complicated ways of dealing with the world, and I find that cinematic and interesting. But I still feel like we're a long way from there being equality in that expression, in that full range of expression. I mean, if you still look at, there's a lot of things that are still very male driven, just Hollywood, but on a lesser level, porno. Still a lot of, like, not that I watch porno or you do, but.
Of course you don't.
But it's all like for men,
Yeah.
like mostly. There's exception, absolutely, but mostly it still has that man thing to it. And I just feel like there's still a ways to go with the way we as a society
Absolutely.
view the importance of
It
femininity.
is definitely the entire global culture is very masculine, and I think it is out of balance, definitely. No one ever calls me up and says, like, Dolphina, control the world. Not yet!
Not yet.
Anybody out there, call me. I'm ready.
You're ready to control the world.
Or even just an island, somewhere. I'll take control. But I don't. It's the whole equality thing is interesting to me because I really feel like it that isn't really the correct word. I'm not sure what the word is, because I don't believe that men and women should be exactly the same. They aren't. We have such different makeups, in our chemistry, for instance, that I really feel like we're more complementary in the ideal world. So I feel like there is something to learn from the women of the 50s that were very feminine and the madmen, even though they seemed unfulfilled, they were, also trying to be a feminine complement to the masculine. And even though it kind of doesn't seem to work out, for Betty.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah.
We'll see.
The discrimination is subtler, but it's still there. And I agree with you. It's not so much about equality. It's about embracing the differences.
Yes.
And
And I mean, globally, of course, you know, there is so much oppression with women.
oh yeah,
It is, it's beyond this hour or
yeah, to
whatever
discuss.
we have to discuss. But, as far as, what we can do in,
Well, we face oppression too. I was at the airport and I had to go to the bathroom, and I went to this room and it said women only. They wouldn't let me in to go pee. I had to go to some other place that said men only. Ridiculous. Anyway.
yes, we should really create
Well,
restrooms for everyone.
there are unisex bathrooms all around the world.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know,
it's natural, right?
it
It's
is
like
natural.
eating, all
Although,
these things should be done like all together.
well, also goes back to questions of, like, part of what my movie deals with is the line between intimacy and sexuality.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes when you get to, so much of sexuality is what we create. It's fantasy,
Mm-hmm.
and like sometimes if you see and know too much about someone, kind of that part of it kind of lessens.
Uh-huh.
And oftentimes in long-term relationships, that the sexual energy wanes. And so the key is to
I hate
find.
hearing that. I
I
really
know
just like.
statistically it's true. It may not be true for you, but statistically it's true. And so it's just, I think that's an important question for people in long-term committed relationships. Like, how do you keep it alive? And for some people, it's just to open it up, and for other people, that's not the answer. So
Yeah, definitely it is an issue with some people. If you open it up too much, sometimes you don't feel like you can go back after you've opened that up. But for me, I mean, as much as I feel connected to men and feeling like currently men don't really know how to be men. They've, as far as when we talk about the feminist movement, like, this current generation has a lot been raised, by very complex situations, and so men don't really know how to be men. They don't. Should they be more sensitive? How do they be masculine? How do these two complement each other? So it is an issue, but for me, my path, of course, has been for empowering women, and I feel like once women get more empowered, because they've experienced such oppression for such a long time globally, that once they start to feel like they can own their own power, that they can come to a relationship and really know what they want, and that there's opportunities, I believe, for women to just explore things in the bedroom that don't have to be necessarily, the entire relationship. It can just be for, you know, exploration, and that doesn't mean that that's their entire dynamic of their relationship. It's that, it's like that is for fun.
So how do you go about in the world of the goddess life and dealing with women who are out there, like helping women feel, uh, pull that out of themselves, feel like goddesses, like feel complete with themselves and themselves as women. That said, given there's a lot of people who are like sort of in cracks, there's
In cracks.
well, they're kind of like they have a lot of male energy too, and that's cool too. That's who they are. But for people
Absolutely.
who
I don't believe that, some people think when I talk about goddesses that it means that it's feminine means pink, and, this whole concept of femininity that is unempowering. it really is about, there's energies, and there's feminine energy and there's masculine energy, and it's really about how that manifests in yourself. So for women, you know, the idea, I have tattoos that say we, and it's saying yes to receiving and yes to giving, and those are your giving and your receiving hands. And um, women are receptacles. We receive, and even though women constantly really identify with giving and thinking of themselves as nurturers, which we are, but we are receivers. So it's really about embracing those kind of energies as opposed to this concept that society has constructed of femininity, which is, maybe a celebrity or a look that in a feeling. It's really manifests differently in every woman. And that's why I believe that every woman is a goddess, because every woman has their own feminine divine energy that is within them. And once they embrace that, they feel anything is possible.
So how do you? Is your what are the various ways that when you work with women that you help them to?
Well, I think it's time that I get you up and I show you some moves.
Uh-oh. Okay. Didn't know that was coming. All right, let's see if we can get it on this teeny little screen here. We'll move it back.
Okay, everyone out there, you can either just enjoy yourself and watch, or you can get up too.
All right, here we go. We got to stay in our light.
Of course, because
what happens? I'll give you some.
It's all about lighting.
I let you.
Were you backing up for?
So you can do your thing.
Okay, so as I teach most women is to maybe come up with another name for yourself that is more fabulous and exciting, and it can be something that you can do just in the bedroom, and it's fun to be like, oh well, Coco does that, and
Coco, I like Coco. It matches my skin. I'll be Coco.
Okay, Coco. All right, and for those of you out there, I want to pick a name. You can pick something that's expensive, fabulous, exotic, delicious, to create your own name, and you can change it any moment you want. But it's kind of exciting to create your own name. Okay,
let me move this out of the way really fast so that we have more room in the light.
All right, we're moving furniture.
Moving furniture.
It's
meant
spring.
to be.
It's spring, and we need to.
There we go. All right. Now we got all
redecorate. Okay. All right. Get back in the light. Oh.
Okay.
Okay. We all know Jacques knows how to move. Okay, that's a given.
Oh, yeah. All right.
And by the way, I'm wearing a leopard print. I don't know if you can see it.
Not a real leopard.
Or
fake leopard.
Cheetah, and it's currently, I'm selling it right now. I'm letting go. With spring, I'm just letting go, and it was part of the Warrior Goddess DVD, and it can be yours. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So you want to sink into your hips, okay, first of all. And why don't you face this camera?
Okay. Sink into my hips.
Okay. So you want to get out of your head and let all these thoughts, that about like what you're thinking about as far as what you can do, and the fact that you're on camera, what you need to say next, or
I'm ready.
All right, and sink into your hips, and then shift your weight.
Okay.
From side to side, and then make it sharper. Just let it jiggle. I say a day without jiggling is a day wasted, because everyone's decided jiggling is something wrong to do.
Okay. Jiggling. Yeah, but you're not just jiggling, you're like shake.
Okay. And then now we're going to make it round and smooth, and just make all those hearts and
Feel it
your
all.
hips. Yes. And then try to isolate so that your chest isn't moving, your head isn't moving. Yes. Nice. And then you start to feel your muscles, your abdominal muscles, and start to connect your mind with your body. That's like really the most important part of it. It's really just to let go and just feel that connection.
I'm feeling it.
Okay, everybody. All right, now we're going to go to something more cardio,
Okay.
which is really great for getting your heart going and for losing weight. Is go side to side like we just did. And don't look down. My rule is that you look up. not
No.
not way up there. You look up. You don't look down because you're empowered and you're confident. Unless you're looking down at your like gorgeous body or mine, and then go faster. So you're shifting your weight, and then faster, and you're really pushing your quads back and forth, making your hips move. And now you're spinning. All right, one more move we're gonna do is the arms, because most people don't think. Your hands up.
Flappy. That's what you did.
Okay, so your arms are, most people don't think you use your arms as much in belly dance, but really it's very powerful and very hypnotizing. So the first thing we'll do is do snake arms, which is shoulder, elbow, wrist. Okay, so Jacques, where are you from? What's your heritage?
Brooklyn.
No, what's your family heritage?
Oh, we talked about that earlier. All
I don't
kinds
care.
of mixed up things.
This is us now.
No, there's black and Mexican and other kinds of black, like Jamaican and.
Weren't you born in Tehran?
No, I just lived there for 2 years.
He lived in Tehran, so
I lived in Tehran for 2 years.
That's pretty amazing. Okay, so the arms are really very hypnotizing. You can do them straight side to side, or you can do them forward. I call them mermaid arms when they go this way. And a lot of Americans give belly dance different names for movements, but in the Middle East, they learn this as a dance just when they're children at parties all the time, and they don't have names for it. They can dance anybody under the table, but they don't give it names. So in a way, Americans have kept it alive and kept the whole, actual genre going. But the Middle Easterners definitely can still do the movements, even though I've traveled a lot to the Middle East. Take it up.
I don't know if I can do that. I'm glad I'm in the dark.
And make a circle with your hip shimmy.
Man, this is working. I'm getting tired already.
All right. Can people call in for
They can, or they can text in. Is there any messages from anybody?
There were no questions, comments, just
Few comments.
hello, people?
yeah, no questions though.
Okay. Do you want to do a solo? Just a quick solo. Just polish off a little quick solo. I'm gonna step out and let you do your thing.
It's easier.